स्थिता मनो मे वाचित्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्महेधि वेदस्य माणिस्थ श्रुतं मे मात्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्राणि सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः May my speech be firmly established in my mind. May the mind too be firmly established in my speech. O self-effulgent Lord, be revealed in my consciousness. May the truths of the scriptures come to me. May not what I learn from them ever forsake me. Let me live my life day and night according to their teachings. I shall speak what is appropriate. I shall speak the truth. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us feel the divine core of our being within our heart as resplendent, very soothing spark of light. Let us feel its crimson halo has filled our whole being. Has filled the whole universe. Obliterating all lines of separation. So, dear friends, let us begin with our usual prayers. Om Asatu Ma Sadgamaya Tamasu Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurmam Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead me from the unreal to the real, from darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, from the limited existence or mortality to the immortality, the unlimited existence. Om, peace, peace, peace. So this is the 6th class of our discussion on the poetry of divine love by the great 14th century Sufi sage Hafiz. And today we are planning to see 2 more poems kind of connected to show this divine loving ecstasy where all social norms, rules are thrown out, as it were, as we have been seeing from the beginning, that the religion that Hafiz is showing, or the Sufis show, or in fact all great teachers, mystic teachers of religion have shown that this is, love is the instrument. It is, reason is good, important, but that is not what really leads us to the ultimate goal. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that it is, the reason stops at one stage and then the love starts leading the spiritual aspect. Everything, as it were, then merges in love because God is love. So, as it is the essence of love is the oneness, and all differences, all logic depends necessarily on differences and distinctions. So, in this loving journey, the reason is left far, far behind. So, even Swami Vivekananda in Bhakti Yoga describes that when the sadhaka, the spiritual aspirant, is on the track of love, soon all the argumentation, theorizations are left behind. There is no room for that. There is certainly the things like priestcraft or fear, all are thrown to winds. It is, we shall see in this poem, which is 74th in this version of H. Wilberforce Clark, his translation, and he also gives this as 84 in some version. This is the poem number 84. So, Love's path is a path whereof the shore is none. Not visible where it will. Let us just move on that path. Let us not bother our heads. Where will it end? That end cannot be shown. It is, and the lover does not worry about it. Where will it end? Where it ends, it doesn't end. There is another very important idea in this. The path never ends. Because you have the endless existence coming forth in your awareness there. So there is no end to that love. It is eternal love. So that path, as it were, never ends. So it is important to know. And there, unless they surrender their soul, remedy is none. As one progresses in this divine love, the ego has to be just dissolved, surrendered. No keeping of ego. We had seen the one couplet of Kabir in this matter, in this discussion, that the lane of love is too narrow to accommodate two. Either God remains or you remain. So, initially, yes, it is broad that you are there, God is there, but then you have to dissolve yourself in God, because now there is no more possibility of two. So one has to therefore be ready to dissolve oneself in this divine ecstasy. That there is actually no need to fight about it. It is because of ignorance we hold on to that which tortures us maximum, and do not want to give up that ego, the bondages which tie us down, our own idiosyncrasies, our likes, dislike, our social or political inclinations, that it becomes a very difficult thing that you tell yourself that this is what I am. We form some kind of a that boundary, that this is what I am. No, you are infinite. If we try to, bind ourselves in that little thing that I am this and this alone, I am one who behaves like this, I don't take things like lying down, I like to eat this, I don't like to eat this, I do not care for this, and so I will do only this work and not that work. All these things are limiting us. Let us feel this. It takes time, but one has to learn. This fellow is telling you, after learning some very hard lessons in this matter, that they torture us. So, there is no way one can hold on to these idiosyncrasies, these little understandings or bondages or trappings of us, that I am so and so, such and such, and this. No, one must learn on this path of loving surrender to God, that all these ideas about I have to be given up. We get led to believe that I am a night person, or I am a morning person, I am such and such person. It is these things bind us. We are none of these. We got into that habit, got into that kind of a groove, that bondage. But we have to get rid of all this, and we can. That is the dissolution of this so-called individual. And that doll jumped into the ocean, the doll made of salt jumped into the ocean with this idea that my height is this, my weight is this, my shape is like this, I am so pretty. Well, in the ocean, all that is dissolved, gone. So one must be, prepared on this path of love to get dissolved. There is no way that you can keep I and yet meet the God. Then it will be meeting your idea of God, but not the God. So it is very important that there is no other remedy. No other remedy. One has to learn to believe this. It is good to learn it early rather than learning it after lot of suffering. It is this ego keeps on lashing us mercilessly, and yet we get addicted to that lashing. Yeah, it is actually, some addictions are funny. They are there for fact, that some are addicted to being lashed. They pay somebody to lash them, It is sounds strange, but these addictions are like that. We are addicted to keep on getting lashings of this type, ego, lash me, bind me, torture me. But yes, that tortures us, but we keep on enjoying that torture and pushing aside the tidings of the love of God, which will remove all these bondages and bring us the true solace, true joy. This has to be therefore removed. With reason's prohibition of wine, affret us not. This is not much in use, this word means let it not scare us. It does not scare a lover. Reasons, prohibitions. Now there is a very nice pun here in the commentary, the notes. The translator has clarified it, that it is reason's prohibition. Here means that reason prohibits you from this drinking. This wine, we saw that this doesn't mean the regular wine. It is the divine love. The reason may prohibit you that, but then prohibit that reason. It is prohibition of reason means that prohibition that is put on reason, that your limit is this, that's it. Here you have no expertise. You cannot, the region for your function is left behind. So it is said that It is affright us not and bring wine in our land. The work of the watchman, that is reason, the work of the watchman is none here. It is till the love dawns, there is the need for the watchman. When the love dawns, then the watchman is no more needed. It is, yes, the watchman is very important, that to guard ourselves against being pulled into the path of evil. So society puts a watchman there of, there is the laws, there are all the ethical rules that you must follow. All those things are like the watchman won't let you do bad things. It is up to a point, it is all very good. Up to a point it is necessary. But once you cross this region of strife, region where you are interested in rationally proving things, there is a region for that. There is, of course, the region of, say, irrationality. That is, one should not go there. That is bad. But then beyond reason, there opens up that region of love. In that region of love, reason has no function whatever. This is the teaching of all these loving spiritual giants, the teachers of mankind. So it is told that there is no expertise for that on this path which merges you. It is an infinite, and there is reason and requires. Swami Vivekananda has taught these things so nicely in Jnana Yoga and other treatises of his, that reason functions only where there are three. Minimum three is required for rationality. But when the dissolution of this three, in Vedanta it is called Triputi Bhanga. Sanskrit word is that the subject, the object, and the subject-object relationship, that is this trident, as it were, necessary for the function of reason. When that is gone, now there is what can reason do there? There is no possibility of it. So it is just as when the blazing sun is out, your tiny little candle has not much, no function at all as far as bringing light goes. So it is every moment that to love thou givest, thy heart is a happy moment. That's a happy moment. We know that every moment that we give to love, that is happy moment. Every moment that we give to this dry reason is a moment of torture. In the right work, need of praying to God to be directed aright is none. All the formal, these rituals, the dogmas, and the liturgy, do's and don't do's, they are no more there. One must take caution though not to discard them till one reaches that region. So till then it is necessary. Yeah, so once you enter that region, then it's not necessary. So it is ask thou thy own eye, who draweth us? Yeah. And then that is a good question, that who is drawing us in this world? We get drawn, pulled. What is that is pulling us? That is the etymology of the word Krishna. Krishna means Karshati, it is Krishna, that one who draws. The God draws us. We mistakenly feel that this is drawing us or that is drawing us. I am getting attracted to this man or this woman or this food. All these things are the secondary reflected attractions. The real attraction is God. And therefore, those reflected attractions, although they attract us, they never can fulfill us. That it is a mirror is there, and then say your something that you like to eat is reflected there. So now Naomi gets attracted there because she likes to eat it, so she goes there, but she meets the hard surface of glass, that's all. That is what happens to us in the world, that ask your eye. What is eye is representative of all our organs. What is really attracting you? So then you will see that it is that God's love, who is your very self, is attracting us, nothing else. So, O soul, the sin of fortune and the crime of the star is none. And we get attracted to those things, the stars, the fortune, so many things. It is not their fault. It is, we have not asked where that source of attraction is. Him, the true beloved, one can see with the pure eye, like the hardly visible crescent moon. That crescent moon is such a tiny thing, means it is very subtle, very fine, and who can see that? The true beloved can see with the pure eye. That eye has pure eye means from our sight the desires, the carnality must vanish. It is our eyes, therefore, make us go to things that are desired by our carnal connection. So that will not be able to see this subtle, superfine source of love. You have to really have that vision of love. It is given in Kathopanishad that it is the God cannot be seen, that by this intellect or studies or all that, because it is hidden in the deep cave of our heart, our consciousness. In the deep cave of our consciousness, it is hidden there. And who can see then? Drishyate tu agraya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhi. That those, here there is a beautiful commentary of Shankaracharya, who says, who has this capability of seeing it, whose eyesight or whose mind has become sharp, penetrating, pure, very subtle. He mentions that it is purified by following the advice of the Guru, performing austerities, learning gradually to check the pulse of the senses. When one does that, then that purifies the heart, and then one can see that tiny crescent moon there. So Hafiz says that that is how it is. The place of splendor of that moon fragment, every eye is not reckoned as plunder, the path of profligacy. That everybody is not able to see that it is there. But all eyes are not capable of seeing it because they are not trained. They have not gone through that exercise of purification. One has to therefore remove all that mote in one's eye, the dust in one's eye. So it doesn't let us see this divine appearance. It is there, but can be seen by only very few. So we otherwise are wasting our eyesight. What do we see? Just think of it. All that we see with our eyes is something that is impermanent, comes and goes. Do you get it? What, Naomi? That what do we see with our eyes? Only impermanent. That which comes and goes. Means, in other words, we see only that which does not exist. Is that really the vision? Just think about it. That which shows us, got it, Yona? That which shows us that which is not. What kind of vision is it? So this is to be purified. And then what you see is, for this track, like the path to the hidden treasure, evident to everyone is not. Hidden treasure, only a few know how to get there. That Ali Baba and 40 those thieves, 40 robbers, they had put all their treasure in a cave, but nobody knew that the door, that it was a rock that would close that cave. Nobody even would think that it is a cave. So only that leader of that gang knew that it is open sesame. So the sesame would open and then he would be able to plunder it. This story is funny. Ali Baba was just going there, just walking, and he saw although that gang hid himself, and then heard what they were saying. And then that when he heard that gang leader this word, he also tried and it opened, So we have to learn it from the experts, like Ali Baba learned that secret word. So we have to learn it to find the secret of this path, for this track, like the path to the hidden treasure, evident to everyone is not. It is. So pray. You have to wait, God will not reduce the conditions. The conditions for this are, as we have seen many times, non-negotiable. And so the lover many times feel the God is hard-hearted. Yes, God is hard-hearted. There is no melting of it. Because that is the true. It is no compromise there. You have to dissolve yourself. There is no compromise. Come on, let us, you come down halfway, I come down halfway. So we will have a meeting ground like when somebody is selling a house. That it is, yes, $1 million. And the buyer offers 500,000. Oh my goodness, 500,000, that is too low. Okay, come on, what about 800,000? So something like that. There is always a kind of bargaining in there used to be the horse carriages in one city in India, and then if the travelers, the riders would know that they knew that the fellow will tell you a high price, especially those who are just alighting from the trains and are new to the city. So they would tell a big price. And they have very nice this thing, that they how to negotiate. So they would tell a high price, and then this traveler says, no, too high. Okay, what do you think would be the right price? And he would say that, okay, and would tell half of that, this is what I am ready to give. And the coachman would say, don't say, look at this, even the horse is laughing. Even the horse is laughing. What are you talking? At this price? So it is the compromise gets struck then. It is those who are the local people and all that, when somebody says that this is the price for going from here to there. And when they hear that, oh, I am not asking for the price of the whole coach, I am not buying it, just the fare. So there is back and forth this fun. But with God, so it appears to lovers sometimes that it is astonishment is mine at that heart, which less hard than the hard stone is not. Very hard heart, uncompromising, very loving, but very uncompromising. That is how it is. One has to reconcile to this situation. It is. Then the next poem is almost as a sequel to this, that it is 75th in that collection. Osaki, the bringer of the wine, bartenders, in the bar, people, there is somebody appointed to serve the wine. So this is called Saki in Persian. So that is the true teacher. Murshid means teacher. So true teacher, the Murshid, is like bringing the cup of love to you. This love of God. The true teacher brings you, connects you to that. So it is, you are looking for wine, but somebody brings it to you. So that is called the Guru, the teacher. So, be the coming of Eid, the time that Muslim special occasion of celebration, that is the Eid. So it is the manifestation of love. So the love, as it were, just springs up there at that time. So it is celebrated. That is auspicious to thee, and these promises that at the beginning of the mystic state thou madest, let them not go from thy memory. Well, you, God, you made these promises. Now, let them not be gone from your memory, that you told that you will bless me. Yes, and then this has another side to it always. You don't forget, but then he is addressing to himself. Let the spiritual aspirant should not also forget what is to be done. God, you told that you will shower grace on me. Okay, God says that. Do you remember that what promise did you make, that you will not run after the other digressions in life? So it is double-sided, the memory, from thy memory. Thy means God's and the spiritual aspirants, Hafiz memory. So, cause the attendance of the daughter of the wine, that is wine, that is wine, the grapes, and the daughter of the wine means the wine. The grapes, from grapes you get the wine, so it is daughter of the wine is wine. Maybe the two words, they are connected etymologically also. So, to reach to the true beloved, say, from the bond of repute and of name, of outward worshipping, of solitariness and of moroseness, come out. Come out. The formal practices of religion, one has to come out of that, and doesn't mean then they throw everything to wind and merge in sense enjoyments. No, that is done. Now come out and merge with the beloved, the God. That practices of religion, as mentioned here, that bond of repute. You need a reputation. Well, yes, this person, people should know that I go to church, to Vedanta society, to this, that. So there is a reputation about it. Yeah, it is. So it is then the of outward worshipping your name and so forth. Then solitary practices and rules, regulations, so forth. That region was useful for some time, but at it now one has to transcend that, go beyond that. So it is come out, for the breath of resolution of us lovers hath made thee free of the bond. It is the resolution of the lover that frees us of this bond. If there is no such bond of love, then we cannot become free. Otherwise, there is neither the religious practices nor the bond of love, that is devotion. Neither of them is there. As the social regulations, all those things are necessary. Even the religious rules, they are very necessary. I had told some time back the incident. There was one senior Swami, one of my mentors. And then after supper we used to have a stroll. So, and he asked that which is that 11th, that when is that 11th day Ekadashi? On that, it's considered very auspicious day. People fast on that day, and many places there are special worships and the devotional music programs. So the name of Rama Nama Sankirtanam, is done on these days, the 11th day after full moon or new moon, both. So he asked me that, well, when is that day? And then we were having just before that a reading, and in that reading this question, similar question was asked to the great devotee of Rama, Hanuman. Hanuman is the great devotee. So in that flood of tremendous love, he replied, I do not know any day or date, I don't remember any of that, I know only the name of Rama. So just for fun, I said, I didn't know. I should have known, but I didn't know that which date it is. So I told him, my condition is also like that Hanuman. I also don't know any dates. And he quipped, and don't know even the name of Rama. So it is you don't have that the higher thing because of which the lower thing can drop. You have even first to reach even the lower thing. You are still fallen down even below that. So for the breath of resolution of us, lovers hath made thee free of the bond. And it is thee means God also here, that we now don't hold you to your promise or anything. Whatever you do with us, that's fine. It is all the bonds now that you should do God, you should shower your grace and all those things. We do not now hold on to that, hold you to those promises. Do whatever, yeah, it is. Then, in astonishment, I am that at this period of time of separation, thou lookest up thy heart from the companions, the lovers of God, and he, the lover, gave thee his heart. Now, who is going to hold responsible? There is nobody else. The heart is gone. There is that nice story about the gopis. When Krishna went away to Mathura and had not returned, the gopis were at Vrindavan, who were mad in love for Krishna and were shedding tears. Oh Krishna, when will you return and we will be able to see you, play with you? You are the apple of our eye and all that. So they were just grieving because of the absence of Krishna. So Krishna sent his follower and friend Uddhava, that it is that okay, you go and console the gopis and tell them that you can meditate on the Krishna in your heart, meditate on Krishna in your heart, and that is you can see Krishna in your mind there in the deep heart in, you will be able to then see Krishna always. You will be always with Krishna. And so he went there and told one reason it is said that why Krishna sent Uddhava there is because Uddhava used to have that pride that I am the most beloved devotee of God. So to show what is the meaning of love and devotion, he sent him to meet these gopis. And Uddhava started telling very methodically, you see, yes, now God is physically away, but what is the form after all? You just meditate on that divine presence in your heart, and then He is always there with you. The gopis replied, but what you are saying is possible, but how to meditate? Because the heart which is necessary for doing the meditation that you told us, that heart is already taken away by Krishna. It is gone with Him. It is not with us. So that is, see, the height of devotion. You cannot say anything about that. So it is, the lover gave thee his heart. Thanks to God that from this autumnal wind no injury received. Thy garden of the jasmine, of the cypress, of the rose, and of the box tree, far it is that garden did not receive any damage. Means all this tempest of this dark night of soul has passed, but it has only strengthened the love. It did not destroy it. So this is about, the difference between a devotee and an ordinary lover in the world. Ordinary lovers, what happens? They love the objects in this world, the persons and objects. And then when they find their expectations are dashed, then they love, and all such feelings, they also are gone. The love and care, in fact, the anger wails there. And yes, all the other such things that appear. So, but this devotee, he does not have that impact. The dark night of the soul comes, this tempest comes, but the devotion and all the other this is the beautiful imagery. Hafiz poetry is very rich in imageries, that all these great things, these beautiful things, that tempest, that storm, could not really damage. So the God is still, the most beloved. It did not destroy that love for God. Those loves which are, devotion and love that are fickle, very fickle. That love, that is the one, the God who gives me fortune, but then something against the expectations happen, that somebody very near and dear person died. Then all the love for God, all the spiritual practices were just thrown out of window. The person became an atheist. I don't believe in God who took away my near and dear, this person away from me. I don't want to have anything with God anymore. And so all those things are gone. But a true lover of God, these worldly matters, they come and go. It does not bother him. Everything is seen as the grace of God. Even the so-called bad circumstances of life, very difficult situations, physically speaking, terrible poverty, loss of all supports. It is in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. You can read many of his devotees, disciples, how because of the this proper love for God, they so many things came in their life like others, but that did not destroy the love of God from their heart. So this is far the evil eye, for from that separation happily brought back, that it is you are happily brought back to the union away from that separation. The renowned fortune and mother-born luck, in the foot of thy happy arrival is the joy of the people of the assembly. Grief's place be every grief's place be every heart that joy wisheth thee not. And this is how the poetic arrangement of words is, that it is that the lover is not at all cursing you, not wishing you that grief's place is, there is no grief because you see that the God is real, God is there. So all the grief then goes, Hafiz, from the hand, surrender and not association with this ark of Noah. It is hold on, hold on. It is there are lot of difficulties in life, lot of disappointments will be there, but this ark of Noah, that is going towards the heaven. So hold on to that, hold on to this loving connection. That is the meaning of ark of Noah. Hold on to that deep loving connection. It is not thy foundation the deluge of vicissitudes of the world will take. It is, otherwise it is you see, they leave that ark, and then there are these vicissitudes of pros and cons of life, and they will start tossing you everywhere. As the ocean of this samsara is like that, constantly in turmoil, and that hold on to that ark, and don't let that hold not go. It is, and otherwise if you let that hold go, then you will be again being tossed on this sea with likes and dislikes, love and hatred, do's and don't do's. All that will be just ravishing our life. So Hafiz is saying, as it were, to all devotees, that don't leave it. This is the path of love. It will take away everything. Everything that is not real. Everything that is part of this ego, this I, that is product of ignorance, everything of that, it will be taken away. And since it is closely associated with us, we feel the torture and pain of it. But don't give up the hold. That is the source of true illumination in life. So, uh, uh, we will stop here. Next poems will be taken in the next class. Any questions?
There are no web questions.
Okay. So, we shall conclude with the closing prayers. May the Divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahura Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.